Hi, in this video we are going to talk about starting a conversation about a general topic while we discuss cultural distance and traditional foods. Alright, to begin, let me ask you this question. When you're having a conversation, what is the usual distance between you and, for example, your parents? Or between you and your siblings, your brothers and sisters? What is the distance? Usually the physical distance between you and them when you're having a conversation. How about with your friends? How about distance with your classmates? And how about distance with your teachers? All right? Thank you. Thank you for thinking about that. Try to measure that in centimeters, feet, whatever measurement unit you're using. All right? Thank you. Thank you very much. Now let's read this together. Read the following text about cultural distance. Cultural distance. What is that? Closeness with our partners. Closeness. How close we are. Closeness with our partners, with our friends, or with strangers. Also called personal space. Oh, that's what they call personal space. How close we are to people. Varies greatly from country to country. All right, means that it is different. Some sociologists have studied why these social norms exist. They have concluded that our personal boundaries, like the limits that we put between other people and us, have a lot to do with where we grow up. So depending on where we grew up, we have more or less distance between you or between the other speakers and us. These researchers classify the world into contact cultures and non-contact cultures. People who touch each other and people who don't touch each other, symbolically. Where people separate more and touch less, although it's not about touching or not touching, it's touching less or separating more. However, even among people who share a similar background, right, who grew up in the same country, in the same area, etc., it is easy to misinterpret what someone is actually communicating through personal space. So we may interpret in a wrong way what they are communicating through the distance that they're taking from us if you're only doing it from your cultural perspective. So if you only understand something taking into account what you think is acceptable in your culture, you may misinterpret what they are communicating. So if they want to really show interest or not in our conversation, for example, based on how far or close they are to us. That's interesting. So it is complex. I see that. All right, let's make sure that we understand this text by just answering these easy questions. What have sociologists concluded about personal boundaries? They concluded that, it depends on where we grow up. Yes? How do researchers classify the world in terms of personal space? So we had two types, let's say, two groups, contact cultures and non-contact cultures. All right, good. So let's say that this is a general topic and you are going to talk about this with a person. How do we start a conversation about a general topic like this, about cultural distance? How do we start talking about that? What do you think about cultural distance? We may want to introduce the topic first and then we ask a question. Let me give you an example. How about if we say, I don't like it when people get too close to me. So you make a statement and then you say, how about you? So the person hears an introduction, knows what you are talking about, and then when you ask them, they will know more exactly what you want them to refer to, right? Or if we say, I back up when somebody I don't know gets too close to me. So I offer my reaction first, and then I say, do you do anything like that? So the person might be ready, more ready, let's say, to talk about that because you already exemplified your case. I just heard something about cultural distance. General statement, and then, are you familiar with that? So that is just one way in which we can, or three ways actually, in which we can introduce a topic and then ask for somebody's participation in the discussion or involving somebody in this that is interesting to us, right? We might say something general and we could add, what do you think? Or what is your opinion, position about this? Or I do this. Have you ever? So have you ever done that as well? You offer something general and you say, and what's your opinion? Or what's your opinion on the matter, for example? But that sounds very formal, but you could say that, of course. Or I did this and this and this. Let me guess, you've never done this, right? And they will say, oh, yes, I have. Or it's just one way of prompting them to speak. All right? So let's think about how we can introduce a topic and how we can get somebody to speak about it. All right? And I have this practice activity for you. It says, how would you start a conversation about the following Latin American foods? Food is always interesting to many people. Oh, you must know, or you must have heard about these foods. If you haven't, research them so that you can at least have an idea about the delicious things that we eat in Latin America. All right, so arepas, ceviche, empanadas, dulce de leche, plátanos fritos. Of course you know about that. All right, so how would you start a conversation about those topics? General statement, and then you ask a question. All right, I'm going to give you a moment for you to pause my video and complete the activity. I'll wait for you for your answers in a moment. All right. All right. Are you hungry? I just get hungry when I talk about these delicious foods. Let's see. Let me show you some sample answers. All right, sample answers. If we're talking about arepas, this student wrote, I ate arepas yesterday. They were delicious. Have you ever tried them? See? So that is a way of inviting the person to speak. How about ceviche? I love ceviche. It's my favorite traditional food. What is your favorite traditional food? Give my opinion and then yours. What is your? And you emphasize, what is your favorite traditional food? I like that. Empanadas. Going out to eat empanadas on Sunday afternoon has become a tradition in my family. Do you do anything like that in your family? And they may say, yeah, we do that or not, or they say no, and then you start the conversation. You keep going. Dulce de leche. On Christmas, we get together as a family to prepare dulce de leche, natilla, and buñuelos. Nice. Do you and your family get together to prepare a traditional dish? I am getting more hungrier. Plátanos fritos. In my opinion, every person likes to eat plátanos fritos in a special way. I just put salt on them, but they have to be very thin and crunchy. Let me guess, you've never had plátanos fritos. The person will say, of course I have, and then they start the conversation. They continue with the conversation. All right, let me pause my video so that you can listen to the pronunciation of this native speaker, and as she pronounces these conversation stutterers, let's say, you pronounce with her, all right? Listen and pronounce, please.
I ate arepas yesterday. They were delicious. Have you ever tried them? I love ceviche. It's my favorite traditional food. What is your favorite traditional food? Going out to eat empanadas on Sunday afternoon has become a tradition in my family. Do you do anything like that in your family? On Christmas, we get together as a family to prepare dulce de leche, natilla, and buñuelos. Do you and your family get together to prepare a traditional dish? In my opinion, every person likes to eat plátanos fritos in a special way. I just put salt on them, but they have to be very thin and crunchy. Let me guess, you've never had plátanos fritos.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for having pronounced that. And now let's just remember that there are many ways to start a conversation. And one of the most effective ones is you offer your opinion and then you ask for the other person's opinion. All right. Thank you very much. And I will see you in the next video.